Welcome to Sex, Lies, and Blank Pages with our special guest, Monica Robinson.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yay,
Woo!
welcome.
Thanks
We're
for
so glad
having
you're
me.
here.
Yeah, I'm so
Thanks.
happy you're here. For us who know, you are the queen of angst when it comes to romance, but would you like to introduce yourself to the audience who haven't met you?
I am M. Robinson. I have like 43 romance novels that all stem from like best friend's little sister to mafia to rom-com. I kind of jump around all over the place. But Willow and I are actually collabing on our first book that releases February 12th. So I'm super excited about that.
Mhm. So when this airs, the book will be out, so you guys can go grab it. And that
When is this supposed to air?
I
It
think
should
in
be in
March.
March.
Okay.
Yeah. So go snag it. And it's my first age gap. I've never written one before. I've had over 60 books and I've never written an age gap.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's one where he's a serial killer and he's like 10 years older, but it doesn't play a huge part in the plot. So I don't feel like that counts, right? Like it wasn't the forbidden aspect is that he is a serial killer. So so the age part is less important.
Yeah. The serial killer kind of outweighs the
That way, that
thing,
way.
yeah.
And
I'm in. Yeah, go ahead.
I've never done a professor before, so either. So
Oh,
yes,
oh,
Monica's popping my cherry twice.
wow. Back to back. Way to go,
Wow.
Monica.
I know. I'm excited. I've written a professor before and a student, but it was like a psychological romance thriller kind of book. This is like the first time I did one like romance, like just strictly kind of this vibe. The first one that I did was like more of a thriller, but I love writing them. They're so fun.
Yeah. Have you done the reverse age gap? That's me
I
over
have
here.
not yet. I have not yet. What was your age gap?
Oh, well, he was 17, 18, and she was 30. But
Ooh.
yeah, it goes to 19 by the end, but then they grow, But yeah, like I make him somewhat legal. No, I make him legal. He's legal.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever read one where he wasn't, where it was like 17. I want to read it now. What's it called?
How the
We
heart
can
breaks.
arrange that.
Yeah.
The Heartbreaker?
How the heart breaks.
How
Is
the Heart Breaks. Okay.
I love that cover too. I absolutely love that
Yes.
cover.
And by the time this comes out, the new hardback with the salacious little artwork inside will be out too. So
Ooh, that's so exciting. Congrats.
I love it.
So
I
back
never
to
really
you.
think of like the reverse one, but I have been asked if I would ever write one. I don't know if I would, but I love reading them. They're so fun.
Yeah.
And it's so
That's
different.
because I tend to like younger guys a little bit, maybe because I don't feel my age, so I tend to go a little younger. That I'm like, oh, why don't we just go? Well, I'll just keep tapping into that
And
I
tapping
love
it.
it.
No.
and tapping it.
Yeah. So, not to put any pressure on you, but how do you like co-writing? I mean, I know
Tell us all the juicy details.
Yeah.
yes, I know that I wasn't
She doesn't hear us. Yeah.
right. I know I wasn't your first, but yeah, how do you like co-writing in comparison to like solo writing?
I think it's like more I think it's more fun isn't a word, but I think it's like funner. That's not a word either. I think it's like easier. Maybe that's the word. Because you have somebody to play off of, right? It's not just like you the entire time. And it's like very lonely sometimes because we're in our heads and we're there all day long and we're there weeks at a time sometimes. So it's nice to just have like a partner in crime that like pushes you and you kind of like write back and forth and it's like almost like a challenge. And I really love that too. It keeps it more exciting versus just like me by myself behind the computer.
Definitely.
So what was your process?
Yeah. Like a
with the
lot
two
of
of
people
you?
have different
Yeah,
process, and
I'm
I would be
curious.
interested how you guys work it.
Ours was different from how I've ever done a co-write before, and I personally loved it. And I would say it was funner. It was more fun. It was very challenging, and I loved the challenge of co-writing. Um, so yeah, do you want to describe the process, Monica?
This is not my first time. I pulled Willow this way, but with my first co-write, we went back and forth because we wanted to make sure that nobody was like, oh, you wrote that and she wrote that. So we wanted to blend our voices. So Willow started And then she sent it over to me, and then I would go back and read what she wrote, and I would add to it, and like we would track it so she could read it. And then I would write my next chapter. So I think we went 2 and 2. So like she did 2, I did 2, and then she would go over my stuff, add, and then send it back. And we just went that way. And I think it's the easiest and it's the best way to like make sure that your voices do blend because you're both in each chapter.
Like each POV, as opposed to like
yeah, each POV versus like, yeah.
So we both wrote both POVs,
Yes.
whereas prior, all of my co-writes, I was the male POV for all of them. I don't know why. I guess I just like being the top dog. Whereas this one, I told Monica repeatedly, I'm the bottom dog on this one.
You did.
But yeah, we did outline it together. And then, yeah, we got to a point. And then when I was in the Passion Flicks, I was like, Monica, I wrote some outline. Go ahead and change everything if you hate it. Like,
Yes.
And what if you do? That's like, that awkward moment of, do you guys have to be like, that was really bad?
I'm so chill when it comes to stuff like that. Like if she were to say, oh, I don't like it, like I wouldn't take that offensively or like, be upset. We would just like talk it through, what you didn't like, what you did like, and we just go from there. So I think that helps too, where neither one of us have like very big egos. So it wasn't like we had to like step on each other's tiptoes. We could be honest. Or at least it was from my point of view.
I agree. And it was very easy going. I think because it was so much fun, like to co-write it. And we also co-wrote it in like a week. Like we outlined it and wrote a little bit and then like blasted through it. And then we're like, oh my God, did we really just write a book? Like, yeah. So so it was prepped. So it's not really like 1 week. It was like, we did a lot of and we're still working on it now, a little bit, like editing and stuff. But yeah, it was very like much like, oh, do you like this? Oh, do you like this? What do you think about this? And then like, like we both just like went at it. I would write in the morning.
It was really
and
easy.
Monica at night. So we were writing multiple chapters like consistently every day, and it was easy.
Yeah.
Somebody else was doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like we were crushing at least, between if we were each wrote 3K, like 6 to 10,000 words a day. So we just like blew through it. And it was so fun and it was so fast. So like I love that it was just effortless.
Yeah, I love that for us because I can't write 5,000 a day, let alone I think my entire career in 8 years, fewer than 5 times I've written 10,000 words in a day.
Yeah, me
I've
too.
written
And
a
when
few.
and you hear those people like constantly are like, oh, 10K this morning. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I literally message Willow anytime I see an author say, oh, I woke up at 5 and I started writing at 5:30 before I even had coffee. I'm like, what? How? No, I can't. I don't know how.
Yeah, literally no, not me. Never. If I ever do that, like please call somebody to do a wellness.
Yeah, that's an SOS. I'm trying to be like, somebody send police. I'm screaming out SOS to somebody.
Yeah. I don't even like to talk before having coffee, let alone write. Yeah.
I know. Same.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you come up with the idea of writing together? Were you brainstorming or?
No. So Willow had initially, you were thinking about doing a student teacher, I think. And then she had sent it over to me. And I had just said, this is what we should write together. Because we were talking about collabing just randomly one day, but we couldn't fit it in our schedules. And then once we had a storyline, like what we wanted to do, she's like, yeah, let's do it. And it just took off from there. And we were able to fit it into our schedules.
Mm-hmm. We jammed it in. We were like,
we jammed it in.
Yeah. Right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Made it fit.
Yeah.
So what else is coming up this year for you?
After our collab, then I have my next one, which is Bossy Billionaire. And that comes out February 26th. And it is the start of like my billionaire series. So it's going to be like angsty, very like black card, very like over the top wealth. Obviously the first one I think I'm going to do like a friends to lovers vibe. Because I haven't even started it. I know that's horrible, but I literally I can write a whole book in like 3 weeks, like 60K in 3 weeks. But that is like every single day, no break, keep going until I die, basically.
Ugh.
And the way I do it is I send it to my alpha readers as I write. So they report back and I'm able to add before I keep going. So by the time I write the end, my editor already has like the first half and then I'll send the second half. And all I have to do is like go back through edits and maybe add a couple things. But as I'm working in the document, I'm updating and fixing everything I have to because I write down to the wire. Like it's so bad, guys. I literally write until like I have to upload the next day on Amazon. Like it's horrible.
Oh my God. It's just so funny how we all
So
so
bad.
different writing styles. Like it's so crazy. Like
It is insane.
like
I'm a
It is insane.
procrastinator.
I live life on the edge. I wish I could have my shit together and like be
oh, I
a book
have my shit
ahead.
together. together, but I'm
Literally.
still like, wow. That still would make me like
You have
yeah.
co-written and you're like sitting on your co-write, which I'm like anxious for your release. Stacy, I mean, so I keep doing this and you can't see it.
Oh, it's out.
It's out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, when
came
did it
out
go live?
January 9th. January 9th.
When was I was busy in Georgia, not paying attention to life,
Yes,
and then
no,
going
it's
down
okay.
to
Yeah, no, it's
Florida.
already out.
Yeah, so Stacy co-wrote with can you remind me of his name? He was on
Victor L.
Yes.
He was on Love Island on Victor L. Yeah, we met way before he was on Love Island, so it was just one of those. I'm like, oh, okay, we were supposed to be writing, and you're off somewhere else.
Oh, that's so cool. How did you
yeah,
guys
he's
meet?
it was funny. It was random because he started TikTok and like he actually looks, I think, a lot like I write a specific guy and like my paranormal, like I'm very Jason Momoa kind of girl. So they tagged him. They're like, Stacy, oh my God, this reminds me of Warwick or something like that. And so I just put in something funny underneath and he must have looked me up. I actually have never really asked him much. Probably should ask him. And he's just like, hey, I would love, message me. I'd love to collab. So we just started talking from there and he's like,
That's
yeah, I would
so
like to
cool.
write a book.
Isn't
And I'm like,
it?
okay.
The world
So,
is
Did
so
he
small.
did he write
yeah.
as well, or was it like
Yeah. Well, he helped write. And then he also gave me, because it's about an MMA, like a boxing, and he's into
Okay.
all that kind of stuff. So he had a lot of information that helped with that. And we had mafia and
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it was really a lot of fun. But so he's gonna be in Denver too. So it'll be fun.
So we'll
So cool.
in Denver, yes. So we
Yep.
can get actual drinks at the bar rather
Yes.
than on our sofas in office.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So you have Denver, and what else are you going to do in terms of signings? Because I know that you have big plans for travel.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do. I have that. I'm like, I didn't know if you were talking to me or any of the other girls. I have that one. We have Charleston next month, or March, which I'm super excited about, Sweetgrass. And then I have Book Bonanza, and then I have Love in Vegas. And I think that's what I'm doing this year. Next year, I'd like to do something internationally, but I'm not doing anything this year.
I have 3 international. Stacey, you're doing 1 international, right?
Not this year. And it's breaking my heart because I'm such an international girl. I'm like, God, this is painful. Yeah, I'm not this year. I kind of
Yeah,
didn't
Monica,
get
I don't
anyone.
know if you know, but Stacy lives like in her own happy bubble. So first of all, like both of you live in your own happy bubble. Monica's on a boat, like living
Yeah,
her best life, and
I
then you're
do.
traveling abroad all the time. Yes.
Well, I used to live abroad, so it's like going home to me. And traveling is like my other people are always like, oh, besides writing, I'm like, I don't have any other hobbies. It's that or travel. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Same.
I don't have any
Same.
other, yeah.
Yeah, you guys would get on with the travel part. And then there's me, the homebody. I come out to see you guys. That's like
That's
you
me.
are the
Yeah, but when you guys come out, you're like dressed to the nines. I'm like,
I
I'm still in my
know.
sweats going, oh, okay. But I used to live on a boat. In the Caribbean, I used to live on a boat. We had to pump our own toilet. That was always fun.
Oh man, no.
It's
So
old
yeah, that's
school.
not fun. Yeah, Ben does that. My husband does that. I don't handle that part. But yeah, so I don't handle, but yeah, I think we do pump it out, but sometimes you could also put it into the ocean, but you just can't put toilet paper down your toilet. Yeah. This is a really random conversation. But yes,
It is.
living on a boat is totally different.
There's
We
so
don't have
many-
a dishwasher
There's a
either,
lot of
and that
things
was
you don't
pretty
think about.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that would be hard.
Yeah. Especially
a
when you
year?
have like people come on, it gets a little harder because not everybody knows the rules. So then you have to tell everybody the rules, but you don't want to sound like an asshole. But at the same time, you're like, don't put toilet paper down my toilet because it will break.
Do you live on the boat year round or?
Yeah, we've actually lived on it for like the last 2 years. We had a house, we sold it during the craziness in 2021. And then we rented a house for a year, and then they decided to sell their house. So we moved onto the boat because it was during the end of or the beginning of 2020. And it was just crazy. Like we couldn't find anything to rent, and everything that we could find was like $5,000-6,000 for like so small, so like a box. So we were like, through it. We moved onto the boat, and we haven't left. And we've been on here for like 2 years now. We would love to eventually find land and build. My husband's a GC, general contractor.
Mhm.
So we'd love to do that, but right now everything is so crazy still. So hopefully in a couple years. We do want to go rent a house again though, just because I need more space. Like I love living on the boat,
Yeah.
but like we have 2 dogs and they need more space. I would love to I have my shop now that I'm literally running from the boat. I'd love to have like an office, so
Yeah, where do you put all your
hopefully.
books?
I was
Like, I
just
mean,
about to
like,
say, you should
Yeah.
talk about the
They're-
shop.
Yeah, they're
Because it is
literally
crazy.
in the other bedroom. Huh?
Oh my
Because you
gosh.
should talk about it because it's crazy that you're running your whole business and they're in the
Yeah.
other bedroom. And I know, you have your assistant who helps you,
Yeah.
people who help you, but you're doing the packaging for it,
Yeah.
living
Yeah,
off of
on a
your
boat.
boat. Yes.
Off my boat. Yeah.
Right?
I make it work. I don't know how I make it work, but I make it work. You should be surprised what you can do when you don't have a lot of space.
So tell us about your shop. What do you do with your shop? I hope that more indie authors, so I want you to talk about it because I want more authors to do it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
I know, right? Come on.
I mean, if you ever need any advice or help, Willow is like literally, I feel like the frontier of it. Like she's one of the first people that did it and did it successfully. So if you ever have any questions, she's the girl to go to. She knows it all.
There are a lot of authors who are killing it by doing direct sales. And
Yeah.
you get the better ROI, but I think it's also a really good experience for readers because you're getting these hand signs, you're getting all these extras. I know Monica puts she puts so much effort into these
It's so
by
much
wrapping
effort.
them and you talk about yours. Yours is even extra effort compared to mine. And I love
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind the extra effort though. Like I'm one of those crazy people that like there's a birthday party or Christmas, like I make the bows and the beautiful like wrapping paper and like it's a presentation. So I just love doing it. It's like my like calming time where I'm just like wrapping things and it feels like I'm sending people gifts. I don't know. It's weird. I like it. But it is time consuming, but I'm quick at it now. I make fun like all my like I tell Renee, my PA all the time, like if you need anything wrapped, I can do it in under like 30 seconds. So
So
I
I'm
got
gonna
it down
be
to an art
bringing all
right
my
now.
Christmas presents to Monica's house.
I know. I love it. It's funny because my family actually does that. My mom will give me all her gifts every year and she's like, you can wrap them. So I'm like, okay. So I end up like wrapping my own gifts too. But she's like, you're so pretty at it and you make it so beautiful. And I'm like, okay.
I start out, oh, I love this. I love wrapping and like I love presentation. I used to be a designer. So and then like I can slowly start seeing like it's getting sloppier and sloppier. Stuck a bow on it.
And then
Yes.
there's
Nobody gets the
me.
tag. Yeah.
Sean yelled at me because, well, he didn't actually yell at me, but I get gift bags that
Oh, I
are
do that.
totes for the kids to use. I was unboxing all of their toys, so there was no trash, and then just wrapping them in tissue paper and putting them into the tote so they could open up their gifts and then put them back in the tote, and then we just take the tote to their bedroom, and there was no
That's
mess.
brilliant.
Yeah, well,
That's
Sean was
actually
like,
smart.
he was like, Christmas is about the mess, and you have to leave the mess, and I was like, I dislike this conversation.
As long as you clean up the mess, that's fine,
Yeah.
sweetheart.
And that
Yeah.
was the negotiation. So now we wrap the gifts together. There are no bags or tissue paper. It's all wrapping paper. Yeah. So the last couple of
Because as a
when they
kid,
were babies,
yeah.
it was different too. Like now they're
Yeah.
old enough to where they're going to
You
remember.
kind of want to rip into paper when you're kids. Like
Exactly. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's
They
part
do.
of it
So-
for sure.
But when they were
Yeah.
3 and 4, They
Yeah,
did
no.
not. No, absolutely not. Like that mess is not for the kids. The kids do not care about the mess. And he was like, they need to be running through like wrapping paper and it fluttering. I was like, what is wrong with you?
That's a very romantic vision of Christmas
Vision
morning
of it.
there, Sean.
Where reality
was-
is over to, like totally different. Yeah.
Literally. But
Yeah.
Barbie, you wrap yours specifically to have a little pocket and then you
Yes.
add stuff to it.
You're one of those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not just the presents, but her books that readers are buying online. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's how I wrap them. It's
Yeah.
quick though. Like once you do it and you do it over, it's really quick. Like I can do it in probably like under 20 seconds just because it's fast. It's all about having what you need. Like you need your tape and all the things beside you. So it's just kind of like it moves quickly. But my favorite part of like wrapping gifts in general is like the bow. That's where I put the presentation. Like that's where I go and I get the ribbon and I do the bows and I put it on the gift. And all my friends and family are always like, we're keeping the bow because that was what the excitement, like the bow is staying.
And reuse in the next year.
Yeah, exactly. They're always like, thank you for this bow that I'm going to use next year. So it's funny, but I like it. Like I love doing stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It's fun for me. So I enjoy it.
Love is in the details. And
Yeah.
you can tell when you're loving something because you love the details and you're having fun with it.
Yeah.
And it probably makes your readers feel even more special when they get this beautifully wrapped package from you that, they're finding out that you do yourself.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
really special.
Yeah. I think that helps the store too, though, because they feel like they're getting more for it. It's not just like a signed paperback they're getting like this whole presentation. And I put like rack cards and like other little goodies in there too, like stickers. And they really, really love that. Like it's crazy how much I love stickers. And I know that like everybody else loves stickers. Like the way I feel when we get new stickers in the mail, that I get so excited. My husband's like, you're such a nerd. And I'm like, I am. I collected them when I was a kid. And now like to get naughty book stickers are so fun.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. No, I'll get excited
So
for that,
excited.
but I'll let the readers know now I'm not wrapping shit.
I don't either.
Like,
Yes.
oh my God, I need now to wrap.
Yeah. I'm like Casey, my disclaimer, I'm not wrapping anything. I will throw in the stickers though. There's stickers on top of your box with crinkle paper.
I'll throw in that kind of stuff, but not wrapping it.
But then you have crinkle paper everywhere. Doesn't that drive you crazy?
Not me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not going to
but
her
when you-
house.
Yeah.
When you were doing them, wasn't it driving you crazy?
So the crinkle paper is for the merchandise.
Okay.
So yeah, so for when it's paperbacks, there's no crinkle paper. But if I'm throwing
Okay.
in mugs and anything that's slightly breakable
Okay.
at all, it's packed with crinkle. So I'm like, that's not breaking. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's worth it then. It's worth it then.
Yeah. Crinkle paper drives me crazy. Like anytime I get anything in the mail that has glitter things in it too, like it explodes everywhere. And then you're like, awesome. Now I have to vacuum, you know?
There is this TikTok that I watched, and she shows you how she makes glitter bombs, and you can buy them to
They're evil.
anonymously send glitter bombs to people.
No.
But like only to your enemies.
Literally.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Literally. I'm like, I wish I had an enemy to send it to because I bet
It's like sand. You'll find it in your cracks later. You're like,
Everywhere. And I swear it just sticks to things and it sticks inside the crevice of things. And if you get it on carpet, I mean, your carpet's going to be glittering for months. Like there's no coming out.
game over. I do
Game
know
over.
you have, correct me or let us know if this is not announced by March, but you have a co-write with Rachel as well, don't you?
We do. We
Rachel Van
actually are
Dyke.
trying to, yeah, we're like 40 or 30% done with it right now, but we're trying to get it, we're pitching it. So we're trying to go the traditional route with it. And hopefully go that way with it. But if it doesn't, then we'll go indie. But right now we're trying to pitch it.
And that's with Stephanie, right?
Yes, and that's with Stephanie, but also Rachel's agent Nicole. So they're both doing it together. They're like simultaneously pitching it. So it'll be like a joint deal.
oh, that's right. We both have Stephanie. I'm like, that's right.
Yeah,
we
that's
both have
why I
Stephanie.
said it because
Yeah.
we just did a podcast with Stephanie. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. She told me. I've had Stephanie probably since before COVID.
Need to, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
Prior to
long
COVID,
time, yeah.
I think. Yeah. I think it was like the end of 2019 that I brought her on. I love her. She's amazing. She's done so many good things for me.
I just keep telling him, like, she's so sweet. Then I'm like, Stephanie, I need your badass ninja.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to be mean. Go in there, fight
I
dog.
know.
She's
And
like,
she's always
okay.
super calm about everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like literally panicking. And she's like, it's fine. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fine. It's gonna be okay. So
The amount of
I
calls
love
she
that
gets
for
from me
her.
a day. Like,
Yeah.
me again.
Yeah, I don't know how these agents and publicists deal with us because I know that I'm nutty. So to have like 20 authors that are like constantly demanding something from
Yeah.
you, like how they must
And
be
we're
drinking all day long just to
and we're
stay like
neurotic. I
normal.
mean, there's
You
no
know,
denying that as a group, we're neurotic. That's why we
we're
do this.
crazy.
We're crazy. Yeah.
We're
So,
insane. We literally
yeah.
hear voices and make stories about them like it's
Yeah.
sketch.
Yeah, any other job in the world, you hear voices and you're getting medicated and like a therapist.
Literally.
Here we're
In
like,
the old days,
yeah,
I think they used to kill you. Like they used to
yeah,
think you were a witch and stake you and stuff. So like,
burn you. Yeah.
geez.
And now we're like, if you and like the voices start going away, and that's when I'm like, I'll turn nutty. Like, don't leave me.
Oh, I know. I know. I love it when I talk to my husband about characters and I talk so passionately about them. And he looks at me and he's like, do you understand that these are pretend people to me? Like, I don't know them how you know them, babe. And I'm just like, stab me in the heart. Like, Jesus. I know.
Yeah. One thing that we like to ask authors, and feel free to be like, no, if you don't want to, but we ask, what are the high highs and the low lows? And you can gnaw out of the low lows if you want.
Gosh. Okay.
But yeah.
So 5?
No.
Just a high and a low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
High and a low.
Start if you want to do a low, maybe start with a low, and that way we can end on a high.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to start. Someone else has to start.
Oh, this
Oh, it's all about you, girl.
This is
about
you.
We're on this side of the can.
Okay. A low.
Like something that you feel like you really had to fight through, and you're like, wow, I want to give up, but you didn't.
Yeah, that's what we typically, it's like the moments where we had to persevere and be like, no, like I'm doing this in spite of.
Probably at the times where like a book didn't meet my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the hardest thing to get back on the horse after you're like you put your heart and soul into something and it doesn't meet the bar that you set for him because previous books have met that bar, right? So then you get inside your own head and you're like, what am I doing? Like that, just the spiraling of what that is probably the lowest part of the industry for me.
100%. I think like all of us can probably relate to that 100%. And then it's like imposter syndrome shows up.
Literally.
Yeah.
I know. And you're like, what did I do wrong? Like it just spirals and your whole life comes crashing down on you. And you're like, we get over it pretty I think we get over it pretty quickly. But like we definitely have those moments where it's just like, wow, why
am I here? Why am I doing this?
Happening?
Yeah.
I know, exactly. But a high would be probably connecting with readers. Like I really, really love connecting with readers and hearing messages of people that like I've had people message me where they were like, my husband had cancer and he was terminally ill and your books are what got me through that, like, or people when you go to signings and they literally cry when they meet you and you're just like, this is mind blowing. Like, whoa,
I still am like looking behind me like, who?
Yeah, like, is this my life? Yeah, it's crazy. So those are probably the highest moments for me.
Definitely. I think like same, like we've talked about community before and how isolating this can be. And your low and that high really emphasizes how necessary community is to keep you going.
It truly does. Like you could be just having like a time in your career where you're feeling low and going to a signing and having authors and readers that are excited for you to be there is like the most motivating thing I would say to any author that is trying to get back on that horse. Like go to a signing and just remember why you do this. Like you're really your passion is there. It's just it's a little hit right now. I got hit in the face. You need to, get back on the horse. You're good. You're fine.
Yeah. I love that. And where can everybody find you?
I am right now on KU. So I'm exclusively on KU. I am trying it out. I don't know if I'm going to stay there long term, but for right now, I'm happy. So I am going to stay there. But I also have my shop that you can find at authormrobinson.com. It's super easy. There is free shipping on everything. I have special editions, I have discreets, I have hot guys, I have paperbacks, I have everything. And you can also,
And it's all
if you don't
beautifully
know,
wrapped.
yes, and it's all beautifully wrapped
with a bow.
Yes, and if you don't know where to start, I also have like blind dates. So like mystery packages where like you can choose if you want like contemporary or smutty or whatever. We kind of cater it towards that. And those are what's really popping in the shop. People really, really love those. So I have all of that. It's everywhere. And that's basically where you can find me, or on Instagram, TikTok, authormrobinson.com. I'm pretty much live on social media, so you'll find me there often.
That's why you two hit it off.
I know. I know.
I'm like,
It was with our TikTok dances. Well, her dancing and me standing.
Yeah, I used to dance. Now I don't dance, but I think about the times that I did dance and I'm like, oh my God, girl, the things you have done for the internet. Like
I personally love it. I love the TikTok thing.
I think of all the times, thank God the internet really didn't exist when I was doing those kinds of
I know, for real.
Yeah. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you have any questions for Monica, leave them in the comments and we will make sure that she sees them.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
guys,
for
and
having
thank
me,
you,
guys.
Monica. It was so much fun.
Thank you.